Happy Wednesday, everybody. We have our nice little preseason preview between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Detroit Lions kicking off tomorrow, less than 48 hours. So we got a preseason preview. We got some also news to discuss. Headlines by the hours, I like to call it. So we got headlines to discuss. A lot of football things to just generally talk about. Players getting cut, players getting traded. We're one step closer. We're one direction closer to the season kicking off. So what better way to talk about it than hell? You're kicking off by some preseason football. So for now, we're talking football. We're not talking the NFL. So sit back, enjoy, and listen to this next episode. Headlines over the hours presented by nobody. Shocker. Anyways, so some news going on in the NFL in the past 48 hours. Trey Hendrickson has reported to training camp, meaning that the contract holdout might still be a thing, but he's reported to training camp and he's there. Other news, Rashawn Slater has also been made the highest paid offensive lineman in the NFL right now with a 4-year, $114 million contract. Pretty crazy. Josh Metellus. Vikings won him. 3 years, $36 million. So, Vikings listing Josh Metellus, hybrid safety. He's playing literally every position on the defense except like defensive tackle because he's not big enough. But they bring Josh Metellus back to, rebuild and revamp that defense. Better things looking for Minnesota this season. And also, over 100 NFL players, coaches, and staff are involved in a Super Bowl ticket fraud, upwarding up to $56,000 in like total like margin of profit, meaning that star players like high caliber NFL players were reselling their season tickets and making more money off of it. So this one would be pretty, like, I guess a different topic for another day. But if players were found guilty, they would end up paying a fine and facing a possible suspension. I feel like players should possibly get kicked out of the league for doing this. No, I don't think that. But honestly, this is kind of a weird one. And other hindsights, the Tennessee Titans cut Traylon Burks, wide receiver, who they traded AJ Brown for, because they just swapped picks. It made no sense. AJ Brown, 2 Super Bowl appearances, all-pro wide receiver. Traylon Burks only caught 1 career touchdown. And the Cleveland Browns are expected to cut or trade one quarterback, and that name that is looming around is quarterback Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders could be the first to go in this Browns offense quarterback room. But then again, we never know. Dylan Gabriel could end up getting traded. Joe Flacco could end up getting cut. So we just have to wait and see. And other news that is going on. So the preseason just right there. The Chargers have also announced their starter for the Hall of Fame game, including Trey Lance. But we'll dive into that a little bit later. But that's just a little bit of the headlines over the hours. So we got our preseason prediction or preseason matchup. We got the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Detroit Lions tomorrow night. A very, very exciting matchup. Trey Lance is expected to get the start against Hendon Hooker. Now, Trey Lance, of course, signed with the team in the offseason after spending 2 years in Dallas and, of course, getting drafted in the first round by the 49ers. On the other side of the ball is Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker is going to get the start, the second round draft pick from the 2023 draft. We talked about him, but we brushed up on him a lot in the quarterback episode. But if you really did miss it, he was supposed to be the guy to put the pressure on Jared Goff to perform, which Jared Goff did. Now, Hendon Hooker is most likely going to end up starting this game, taking probably a good 50, 60, 80% of the snaps. Kyle Allen is also on this roster as well, so we will see some Kyle Allen, but mainly it's going to be a Hendon Hooker show. Now, Hendon Hooker, of course, last year in the preseason, completed 29 of 44 attempts with 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, missing 1 preseason game. So, whatever that bet is, if it's under, 75 yards, take the over. Take the over. We're also getting a little bit of betting props in this game, but main players you can look out for on the offensive side for either teams. We're going to talk about that right now. I do know DJ Ugalele will also end up making a lot of appearances today, or tomorrow, I should say. We're going to see a lot of DJ Ugalele, quarterback out of Florida State and Clemson, also Oregon State as well. DJU is it's an interesting story seeing him there, but he will end up taking a lot of the snaps. But Trey Lance is supposed to play the first half, and Taylor Heineke will only come in emergency situations or in emergency options, Meaning we're definitely going to see Taylor Heineke in the next like 3 weeks of the preseason. But for the Hall of Fame game, it's going to be a Trey Lance led game. Running the ball, of course, we heard Omarion Hampton is going to get the start. So we're going to see a fresh Omarion Hampton for probably 2 or 3 drives, maybe even more. But we're going to see some Omarion Hampton because his first NFL action. It's what John Harbaugh does. It's really what he does. Of course, we still have that stuff with Najee Harris, what's going around with his eye after the firework 4th of July incident. So we're going to see a lot of Omarion Hampton. Am I high on Omarion Hampton? No. Do I think he's going to be great? Of course, Omarion Hampton is going to be great. But the deal is also with this injury, they did end up signing Nyheim Hines. Nyheim Hines, of course, is probably the best third down running back in NFL history. Like we could debate on that one, but they have Nyheim Hines on the roster, so we could expect to see more. But he's heavy on the fantasy. That's Omarion Hampton, heavy on the fantasy. There's also a lot more with that. Jarrett Patterson is also another guy on the roster. Jarrett Patterson's been with the team for the past couple seasons, so we could expect to see him a lot. Also, Kamani Vidal, we should expect to see him, taking the ball a lot. He's also been taking the ball a lot for the past couple seasons in the preseason. So in the preseason, I feel like Vidal might be actually a anytime touchdown. Of course, for Detroit, they got Craig Reynolds taking the rock. Now, if you're very familiar, Craig Reynolds has been with the team for the past couple seasons. Craig Reynolds has been the guy getting 20, 30 carries while Jahmyr Gibbs or David Montgomery's hurt. It was him and Jamar Jefferson, but Jamar Jefferson's not on the team anymore. I think he's in Pittsburgh. But Shiloh Vaki also, he's been the guy who's also taken like 5 to 20 snaps while either of them are hurt. Oh, and they were also sharing it with Jamar Jefferson as well. But Shiloh Vaki is also another guy who's been taking a lot of the snaps. And I could expect to see also a Vaki anytime touchdown. But I don't expect anytime touchdown from Craig Reynolds. Although I expect Craig Reynolds to get the start and to take the first few drives. But it's going to be Vaki. And also, just in case, another name you could keep out for is Jabari Smith. Smith spent some time with the Titans. And we could expect to see him in this Hall of Fame game. Wide receiver Darius Davis is possibly going to be that wide receiver 1 for a good first half. They also have They also have Jalen Reagor. Jalen Reagor could also be a guy you could keep keep a name out for. But Jalen Reagor could also be another name. But I don't think that's soon in the preseason. But they do have Jalen Reagor on the roster. Brendan Rice, son of Jerry Rice, will most likely be taking a lot of snaps as well. Trey Harris, the second round pick, hasn't had a lot of training camp. Of course, they had a lot of contract negotiations, a lot of contract battle going on. So we could expect to see him take a lot of snaps in the preseason, get him fresh, get him ready. So what's the best way? Have him take the first 5 drives, taking every single snap on offense. It's normal. I've seen it in the preseason. And then, play the other few preseason games from then on. And then Keandre Lambert could be another name we could see. I don't know what we're going to see from him, but he could be another name we could see throughout this game. Ronnie Bell. That's your wide receiver 1 for the Detroit Lions. Through this preseason game is Ronnie Bell. Ronnie Bell spent the past couple seasons a Purdue product playing with the Niners. Now he finds himself Now Ronnie Bell finds himself on the Lions, and you can expect to see a lot. Ronnie Bell is your main guy. Tom Kennedy as well. Kennedy spent the last 5 seasons with the Lions. He shows out in the preseason. I don't think he's going to get the start, but we're going to see a lot out of Tom Kennedy. Tom Kennedy plays a lot. He's been with the team a lot. Malik Taylor, another guy, spent some time with the Packers and the Niners and the Seahawks. Now he finds himself over here in Detroit. He's going to be a rotational piece this season with the Lions. Coming off the practice squad, back on the practice squad. Expect to see a lot of him tomorrow. And then Isaac Tesla, a rookie. I don't remember where he's from. But he could also be another name you could look for. That might be the biggest. That's just a rough breakdown. Of course, more and more could happen. Other players, defensive side, blah, blah, blah. But that's the biggest pieces you could look out for in this offense. Because I'm mainly focused on the offensive battles. I mean, I know there's going to be, I'm going to give a whole recap. This happened, that happened, key takeaways. But those are, the bigger names who might make really big plays. Gambling, though. For my gamblers out there. got some props, got some bets. Over under 32.5. That's the over under. The smart safe bet, just in case, it's like a normal preseason game, ends in a 20-7 battle. Take the under if you're feeling safe. I don't know. The spread, give me the Lions by +2. I'll take it. I'll take it. I mean, give me the spread. Anytime touchdowns, Kami Vidal. For the Chargers, maybe Marion Hampton ripped something off early. I don't know. Brendan Rice, maybe anytime touchdown because he might expect to see a lot of the field. And then Shayon Baki for the Lions might be toting the rock a lot. So those are my anytime touchdowns. If I'm wrong, don't fight me, but those are personally my anytime touchdowns. Hendon Hooker, over. Whatever the over is, give him the over. He's taking 80% of the snaps. Kyle Allen probably come in the middle of the fourth quarter. Give me Hendon Hooker with the over unless he gets hurt. Or he just straight up just sucks. And they're like, yeah, we need to see Kyle Allen. But for playing like 2.5 or like even 2 preseason games throwing 300 yards, give me the over in the Hall of Fame game. When there's only 2 quarterbacks, he's taking a good chunk of the snaps. Give me the over. And then, of course, the least risky prop bet would have been that 2, the over-under of that 2. So, that over-under, give me 32.5 under. I'm playing it safe. I'm assuming it's going to be a normal preseason game. So, key takeaways for the game come, of course, on offense. But don't expect the Chargers to come out the game throwing the ball. Marion Hampton is starting. Not even that. Expect the over for Trey Lance rushing. Right now, a sleeper is put at like 30%. Or it's put at 28 yards. Give me the over on that one. Also use my code. It's a football thing by on sleeper. $100 referral. So use my code. You get $100. Anyways, expect that over. That over is 28.5 on sleeper right now. At the time I'm recording this video, of course. Take that over. Trey Lance is gonna run the ball like hell. And then for another crazy one, Hendon Hooker also might run the ball like crazy too. So, hell, if you feel like it, put in a 2, like put $5 on it. It might pay out to 15. Who knows? But like on a sidetrack, expect a pass heavy game for the Lions. Biggest part is Tom Kenny's been with the team for too long. Made a lot of plays. Played very good receiver. Because I mean, you gotta be good to be at the NFL level. Now, expect a pass-heavy game from the Detroit side. Expect a run-heavy game from the LA side. Defensively, it's gonna be a defensive juggernaut because it's the Hall of Fame game. I mean, most of us stopped watching by the end of the third quarter. I'll be done watching by the end of the fourth quarter because that's how I watch football. But we got football, bro. We got football. We got everything coming back. I do know my prediction is gonna be Chargers 10. And the Lions 35-10. I feel like this might be a blowout, but who knows? 35-10. That's my final predictions. Game is gonna be played at Tom Benson Stadium or the Hall of Fame Stadium. I don't know if they changed it or not, but that's a wrap. That's a wrap for everything. Last segment kind of jumbled around, but hey, if you guys enjoyed it, subscribe. Thanks for the subscribers though. 403. I don't know who's watching this late in the episode. But if you did, leave a thumbs up. I'm not asking you to though. But if you want to, go ahead. I'm not gonna press you. Everybody take care. If you took my gambling advice and it paid off, thanks. You're welcome. If it didn't, fucking fight me. I don't care, bro. I really don't care. If it didn't, I mean, that sucks. That really sucks.